I am aware of media reports regarding allegations of biological weapons programs. The United Nations is not aware of any biological weapons programs.
Мы созвали сегодняшнее заседание, поскольку в ходе проведения России
because,
специальной военной
as
операции
Russia
на
is
Украине
conducting a special military
вскрылись
operation
поистине
in
шокирующие
Ukraine,
факты
we discovered the
экстренной
truly
зачистки
shocking
киевским
facts
режимом
of
следов
emergency cleanup
военно-биологической программы,
by the Kiev regime of the traces of a military biological
Киевом при
program which is
поддержке
being
Минобороны
implemented
США.
by Kiev with support by the United States Ministry of Defense.
В распоряжении российского
Our
Минобороны
Ministry of
оказались
Defense, Russian
документы,
Ministry of
которые
Defense, now
подтверждают,
has
что на территории
documents which
Украины
confirms
сформировалась
that on the
сеть
territory of
из, по
Ukraine
крайней мере,
there was a
30
network
биологических
consisting of at
лабораторий,
least 30
в
biological
которых
laboratories
проводятся крайне
in
опасные
which
биологические
very
эксперименты,
dangerous biological experiments are being
нацеленные
conducted,
на усиление
aimed
патогенных
at
свойств
strengthening the pathogenic
чумы,
qualities of the
сибирской язвы,
plague, anthrax,
туляремии,
tularemia,
холеры
cholera,
и других смертельных
and other
болезней с
lethal
использованием
diseases
синтетической биологии.
using synthetic biology.
Стали
Our
известны
military
подробности
became
проекта
aware of the details of
UP-4,
the project
который
UP4,
реализовывался в
which
лабораториях
was being
Киева,
conducted in
Харькова и Одессы.
laboratories of Kiev, Kharkov, and
Его
Odessa.
целью является
The
изучение
goal is
возможности
to study the
распространения особо
possibility
опасных
of
инфекций
spreading particularly
через
dangerous
мигрирующих
infections
птиц,
using migratory birds.
в том числе
And this includes the
высокопатогенного
highly
гриппа
pathogenic influenza
H5N1,
H5N1,
которого для
whose
людей достигает
lethality for
50%,
people
а
reaches
также болезни
50%,
Ньюкасла.
as well as in the Newcastle disease.
В рамках еще одного
There was
проекта в
another
качестве
project
переносчика
where the vector of
потенциальных
the
агентов
potential
биологического
agents of
оружия
biological weapon,
рассматривались летучие мыши.
bats were considered.
Среди приоритетных
Amongst
направлений для
priority
изучения
areas
фигурируют
for
бактериальные и
study,
вирусные
they
патогены,
include the bacterial and
которые
viral
могут передаваться от
pathogens that
летучих
could
мышей к
spread
человеку.
from bats to people,
Чума,
such as
лептоспироз,
plague,
а также
leptospirosis,
филовирусы и
and as well as
коронавирусы.
filoviruses and
Как
coronaviruses.
вытекает из проектных
As
документов,
can
США
see from the
активно
project
финансировали
documents, the
биологические
United
проекты
States
на
actively
Украине.
funded the biological projects in
Велись
Ukraine.
эксперименты по
Experiments
изучению
were being
переноса
conducted
опасных
to study the
заболеваний
spread of dangerous
эктопаразитами,
diseases
вшами и
using
блохами.
ectoparasites such as lice and fleas. The
Обороны
Ministry of
материала подтверждает,
Defense
что
of
все
ours
серьезные
has
исследования
materials
повышенной
stating
опасности
that all
в
of the
биолабораториях
serious
Украины
studies
проводились
of
под
high
непосредственным
level
руководством
of
специалистов
danger
из США,
in biological laboratories
которые
in
обладали
Ukraine were
дипломатическим
conducted
иммунитетом.
under the leadership of specialists of the United States who had diplomatic immunity.
Сейчас, по данным нашего
Currently,
Минобороны, киевский
according to our
режим по
Ministry of
требованию
Defense, the
западных
Kiev
кураторов
regime,
спешно заметает
according
следы,
to the request of the
чтобы к
Western
российской
mentors,
стороне
are
не
trying
попали
to clean it
прямые
all up.
свидетельства.
Russia asked the Security Council for today's meeting for the sole purpose of lying and spreading disinformation, and that is exactly what you have heard from the Russian PR this morning. Last month, Secretary Blinken laid out with tragic accuracy what Russia was about to do. He specifically warned that Russia would manufacture a pretext for attack and even cautioned that Russia would fabricate allegations about chemical or biological weapons to justify its own violent attacks against the Ukrainian people. Today, the world is watching Russia do exactly what we warned it would. Russia is attempting to use the Security Council to legitimize disinformation and deceive people to justify President Putin's war of choice against the Ukrainian people. And China, too, has been spreading disinformation in support of Russia's outrageous claims. I will say this once. Ukraine does not have a biological weapons program. There are no Ukrainian biological weapons laboratories supported by the United States, not near Russia's border or anywhere. So here are the facts. Ukraine owns and operates its own public health laboratory infrastructure. These facilities make it possible to detect and diagnose diseases like COVID-19, which benefit us all. The United States has assisted Ukraine to do this safely and securely. In fact, it is Russia that has long maintained a biological weapon program in violation of international law. It is Russia that has a well-documented history of using chemical weapons. It is Russia who is the aggressor here. Russia has a track record of falsely accusing other countries of the very violations that Russia itself is perpetrating. And given that, and consistent with our previous statements, we have serious concerns that Russia may be planning to use chemical or biological agents against the Ukrainian people.
Russia has today brought into the Security Council a series of wild, completely baseless, and irresponsible conspiracy theories. Let me put it diplomatically. They are utter nonsense. There is not a shred of credible evidence that Ukraine has a biological weapons program. Ukraine is a state party to the Biological and Toxin Weapons Convention in good standing. As we've heard, the research facilities are established facilities set up to deal with public health hazards. They said they would not invade Ukraine. They then invaded. Foreign Minister Lavrov then said they hadn't invaded, and he repeated this absurdity yesterday. A whole pack of lies. They said Ukraine was preparing a dirty bomb. That was a lie too. They said yesterday that a pregnant woman staged her injuries in the Mariupol hospital bombing. That was a grotesque lie.
The U.S. representative, in her statement, made a groundless allegations against China, which we firmly reject. The international community have been raising concerns about the U.S. military biological activities. They have around the world 336 laboratories. This number comes from the information provided by the U.S. to the Conference of Parties of the BCW. The U.S. said they are for transparency. If they believe the relevant information is fake, all they can do is to provide us with relevant data, provide clarification so that the international community can draw a conclusion by itself.
As we expected,
мои западные коллеги,
our
прежде
Western
всего,
colleagues, first and
никто из
foremost,
них не говорил по
neither
существу
one
поставленного нами
of
вопроса.
them addressed the substance of the issue we put
Когда
forward.
моя американская коллега
When my American
метала
colleague
громы молнии,
was
обвиняя нас, как мы и
throwing
предполагали, в
thunderbolts and
пропаганде,
accused us, as expected, of
вспомнились
propaganda,
две вещи.
two things came to mind.
Во-первых, наша русская пословица «на варе и шапка горит»,
Russian
guilty mind is
saying,
never at ease.
according to which a guilty mind is never at ease.
Чем громче и голословнее пытаются свалить
The
вину на нас наши
louder
коллеги,
people are trying to shift the
тем
blame
больше мы
on us,
убеждаемся, что попали в
the
точку,
greater is our
рассказывая
conviction
про
that
их
we
достаточно
hit
лицеприятную
the
деятельность на
nail on
Украине.
the head when we're talking about their
Во-вторых, невозможно
nefarious activity
не
in Ukraine.
вспомнить на другую
Secondly,
историю,
I
которая неоднократно уже
remember another story
упоминалась в
which
разных контекстах,
was
о знаменитой
mentioned
пробирке Колина Пауэлла
times in
в
many
этом самом
contexts
зале,
about the
что стало
container shown
основанием
by
для
Colin Powell
интервенции
some time
Соединенных
ago
Штатов в
here
Ирак,
in this room, which
повлекшей
became the foundation for the
колоссальные
United States
человеческие
going
жертвы
into Iraq
и